Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, May 14th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing still. That's because the market is still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So ticker symbol number one, we are looking at TSLL. Absolutely monster move once again today. Talked about this in yesterday's video. Mapped out this bull pennant pattern, which you can see right there, and then the price and pattern got the break through it right there, and a little bit of a consolidation before finally getting more continuations this afternoon. So overall, very, very impressive breakout. So what I'll do to start things off is just get rid of this these lines here as they serve their purpose for now, and we'll map out some of the newest levels. So as far as key levels at this point, the ideal level of support, when you say, Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute strongest moving forward? And that would be if the price could stay up here above this area of the former breakout point right at $13.50. Now, let me be very clear. If the price falls below $13.50, that does not mean the entire chart's destroyed or ruined or anything like that. But yeah, if the price could manage to stay above there, that would be a very, very impressive sign of strength. Taking a step back and looking at things from the bigger picture point of view, that's where the purple line comes into play, the 50 period simple moving average, keyword being moving. So as time goes by, that line is going to move itself higher and higher. In other words, it's kind of like a trend line that's going to draw itself for you. So I like to call moving averages trend lines for lazy people. And as long as the price stays above that overarching trend line, then overall the price by definition is still building a higher base. So if you do care about the bigger picture point of view, as long as the price is above there, everything is still perfectly fine. Now, I make the comment about bigger picture because I understand if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, and you bought right there, and your goal is to buy and sell within 20 minutes, and yeah, you don't want the price dropping all the way down there or anything like that. But from the overarching standpoint, sure. Best case scenario, what would make it look the strongest, staying above $13.50, but definitely you'd want to see the price stay above that purple line right there. And then in regards to areas of resistance, nothing fancy here, just a question of where did the party finally stop today, and that was right up there at about $14.40. So keep an eye on that dynamic. But all things considered, the overall uptrend continues with those higher highs and higher lows. Next one here, MOGO, and overall the chart's hanging in there. Now again, it's all about perspective. Day traders, flippers, scalpers that bought right there wanting to buy and sell within 10 minutes. From that angle, yeah, things are looking very, very rough for you. But even with the bigger picture, the price still has the opportunity to build that higher base. And not only the higher base, it's still actually up above the two key moving averages. Purple line, like I just discussed, that 50 period moving average. The pink line being the 200 period moving average. So like I said, it's still hanging in there, assuming you care about the bigger picture point of view. And another way to see that it's quote-unquote hanging in there is just via the fact that we can get a trend line in, drawn right there. So let me change that to green. So like I said, there is still a place where the price could build a higher base, curl upwards, and you'd still have an overall progress being made in the upwards direction. Again, totally get it. If you bought right there, then you really don't care about any of these areas down here. But I'm trying to distinguish between more of a scalper day trader and somebody that cares about the broader scope of things. So definitely you ideally want to see the price hold strong there. If it doesn't, then I would consider these moving averages certainly the must-hold kind of do or die levels if they were to get tested. If the price does try to bounce back in the upwards direction, first key area of resistance right there sitting around the $1.92 mark, where you can see right here it's the price has struggled to get any sort of upwards movement through there. But if the price can come up to that area and get a push up through, then yeah, that definitely could spark another round of upwards momentum. Next one here, BBAI, good solid pattern here in play. So let's get this drawn. So the first part of the pattern is the fact that yes, it's made an explosive move, and sure, it's pulled back here, but you know nothing can go straight up. So the price has pulled back. Now, however you want to draw that trend line, I'll leave up to you. But like I said, I'm just trying to illustrate the fact that the price has indeed pulled back. So move that over here, change that to green. So yes, as of right now, to be fair, there has been a pullback. You just can't deny that. But if you care about the bigger picture, well, part of that is, sure, you're acknowledging, yeah, that the price is pulled back. But because I care about the bigger picture, well, what was happening before the pullback here? And those people would say, well, the price was here, and then it exploded all the way up there. And now all of a sudden, those people are looking at a bull flag pattern. Now, just because there's a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to go upwards. But would it be shocking? Would it catch people off guard if the price come up here, broke, and then that break right there got good solid upside buying pressure? No, I don't think anybody would be shocked by that. So again, it's all about perspective. Those that care about the grand scheme of things, yes, they will acknowledge that there is a pullback, but part of the bigger picture is also factoring in what was occurring before the pullback, which, like I said, right here, you had that big upwards move. So if you like this price range down below $5, you like bull flag patterns, here you go. Next one here, PLTR, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that have watched past videos, but if you have, hopefully remember me talking about both these red lines here as areas of resistance. And just today, absolutely a bullish day. Yes, because it was very big in the upwards direction, but just from a technical standpoint, I mean, truly just crushed both of those areas of resistance in the same exact day. So very, very impressive movement. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of those levels. And it really just goes back to now, what would be that ideal level, as I already talked about. The level that, ideally speaking, if the price can stay above it, what would make it look the absolute strongest. And in my opinion, that's right here about 126.50. But as already discussed, and I'm going through this a little quicker because I want to respect your time, and you've already heard me talk about it. From the bigger picture point of view, just watch that purple line. And as that line moves higher and higher, as long as the price is above it, the bulls are in total control. And then as far as areas of resistance, as of right now, I have this area of resistance right there, which sits right around the 131 give or take area. And I suppose in some senses there's like a little miniature bullish pattern here. If we do that and that and that. So almost a little miniature bull pennant here. But just from overall standpoint, yes, staying above 126.50 would be a very impressive sign of strength. But as long as price keeps on building those higher bases, then overall the chart's doing just fine. Next one here, NVDA, and another very, very explosive move out of this one. And I'm going to go through this one quicker. As you've already heard me talk about this. In fact, I just kind of drew it. But we're looking at a bull pennant pattern here. So we have our area of resistance right here. We have our area of support right there. And then just to make sure everybody can see the pattern, let me keep it the same color. So we have our resistance. We have our support. We have the big upwards move right here for you golfers. Put the golf ball down here, make it a little bit more visual for you. So here we are looking at a bull pennant pattern on a very popular stock. So that still doesn't necessarily guarantee anything, but it does create a very real possibility that even if you want to just call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, but when you have a ton of people watching the same pattern, wondering the same thing, and if the price comes up here and breaks through, you could have a lot of people buying just because, well, I'm a breakout trader. Oh, look, that's breaking out. Oh, because it's breaking out and because I'm a breakout trader, I'm supposed to buy, therefore they just buy. For no other reason than it's breaking out and they're supposed to buy. Again, I'm not saying that's what's going to occur, but on a very popular stock with lots and lots of people watching, there is that, like I said, very real possibility of getting some of those self-fulfilling prophecies. So we'll see if that plays out or not on Wednesday. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen, and if you want to learn more about the tool and how I can use or how I use it to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description area, or if you're watching right at my website, there's an area on the webpage that you can use to sign up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Next one here, LOBO, and a pretty train wreck looking of a chart, a very ugly looking chart, but you long-time viewers, you know what I'm going to say next. There can be opportunity in the ugly. And the potential opportunity here is, yes, it's getting very, very rough. But if the price can keep on dropping, you do have a very interesting level that could present a bounce, and that's right there, the famous 50-period moving average. Again, no guarantees, but would it shock people if the price came down here, found some support at the 50-period, and then got a bounce in the upward direction? No, I don't think that would shock anybody. Now, I say bounce. By no means am I saying it's reversing all the way up or anything like that. But from a risk versus reward scenario, meaning relative to what's being risked versus what is the potential upside if you do get a bounce, you could structure yourself a very, very interesting trade plan. But again, that I am baking in the presumption that you are actually going to behave in a disciplined way. So if you're not going to be disciplined, if you hate stop losses, I mean, you shouldn't even be trading. But that's a whole other topic. Then this certainly wouldn't be for you. But if you can be a disciplined trader, then yeah, one of these situations where is that the area where everybody waves a white flag, everybody's like, this is the worst thing ever. I'm out, I'm out, I'm out, and then all of a sudden that's where it bounces. Maybe, but like I said, assuming you're going to be disciplined, you could structure a nice risk versus reward scenario. Next one here, ICCT, and I'm going to go through this very quickly because same exact general idea. Very, very impressive move, but yeah, this right here has gotten pretty ugly, but and this one's a little bit of a step ahead. Look right where it decided to bounce, right off of that purple line. And it is starting to head back up, so you do get to ask the very interesting question, is this bounce the start of something even bigger? Now think about that question. It makes no sense to ask it if nothing worthwhile is even happening. But in this situation, something worthwhile is happening. It's not only stopped going down at the purple line, it started to head back up. Now, to be fair, maybe this isn't the start of anything. Maybe it rolls right back over. But again, to be fair, because that's a two-sided coin, well, I mean, maybe this is the start of a much bigger bounce, and this thing's getting ready to rock and roll over the next few days. So that's why risk management matters. But yes, no doubt about it, you do get to ask a very interesting question. Is this bounce the start of something bigger back to the upside? We'll see what happens. Next one, PLUG, and this one's doing its best to hang in there. It certainly had a very, very impressive move right there. You can't take that away from it. But now with the pullback here, it's sitting at one of these situations where, map in the sport, where it's kind of a do or die mark. Not quite at the do or die level, but right here I would call it 80 cents a do or die level because, and I'm not saying this will occur, but for explanation's sake, if the price were to come down here and then break down below it, what do you have at that point in time? Well, you would quite literally have the price having gone right back to where it was. And I mean, not to insult your intelligence, but price movements that make great moves, and then all of a sudden within a relatively small amount of time, so aka within like a couple of days, all of a sudden are right back to where they started. Not exactly a sign of genuine strength. Again, I'm not saying that's what's going to occur, but that's why in my mind that right around 79.5 cent mark, 80 cent mark, very, very important level, because if the price drops below there, then yeah, at that point the price is quite literally gone right back to where it started. Next one here, NCL. I probably should have put this in a different spot in the watch list because we have this pattern here that I've already talked about a couple of times now. So I'm going to go through this again very quickly just to make sure you see it. But you've already heard me talk about it, so I want to respect your time as much as possible. So there's the bottom part of the pattern. There's green for support. And let's just make sure that everybody sees it. So we have our area of resistance. We have our area of support. We have a nice upwards move right here. We have the golf hole down here. So we're looking at another bull pennant pattern. So yeah, headed into Wednesday. Can the bulls get the push? Can it break through there? And if it does break through there, does that create more upside momentum? We'll have to see what happens with it. But if you like penny stocks, you like bull pennants, here you go. Next one here, TSLA Tesla. Very, very nice breakout from that technical pattern that I mapped out in yesterday's video. You can see right here, it got the break. Actually, a very nice movement here. Breakout. Fantastic back test. And then from there, up it went. So great movement. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. But what I'm actually curious about is I'm going to extend this trend line out right here, and let's just continue to keep an eye on that, and that'll be what I'll call the ideal level, which you've already heard me talk about before. Hey Clay, what make this chart look the absolute strongest moving forward? Yes, ideally staying above that trend line would accomplish that. But again, if the price does not hold above it, not the end of the world. Just watch that purple line there, because as you now know, that purple line is going to continue to move itself higher and higher. So as long as the price is above there, then the chart is doing just fine. And then in terms of areas of resistance, no need to overcomplicate this. Party stopped several times right up here around the 337.30 mark. So for whatever reason, that's kind of where the sellers and such decided to stop up around here. Does not mean that they're going to remain up there, but as of right now, that is where the sellers and the bears are currently residing. So we'll see if the price can push up through there. But all in all, very, very nice move and turnaround for Tesla. So we'll see if the momentum can continue over the next few days. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here and you want to get signed up and learn more about the class, then that'll be very soon, Thursday, May 15th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So hope to see you there. And then as far as these top 10 videos are concerned, as always, if you appreciate these, if you enjoy, hit that like button. And if you're not yet a subscriber, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And then also I am and have been live streaming at 11 a.m. Eastern. So if you have some time, you want to come hang out, see some live trading, ask questions, like I said, just hang out, then be sure to check out the channel and check out the live stream, which I do every day starting at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So thanks for watching, and definitely go get signed up for that free class.